you know that there was a commercial with strippers, right, shaking their ass, and then they was like, "Oh, I got your attention. Now it's time to vote." Well, here's my thing on it, right? What's the easiest thing for a black person to do to cause change? And I'm glad I'm bringing it up on the podcast. It's the vote. They tell you to vote. No, listen. That's the easiest thing.
I don't agree.
All right. So let me break it down to you like this before I forget. Everyone tell you to vote, right? Do we know vote truly bring change? Yes, voting truly brings change. But here's the problem that I'm dealing with a lot of people. People vote, things happen. They think their life changed, things change forever, right? Mm-hmm. I'm looking like, bro, all these $1 million black people tell you to vote. Dr. Umar Joshua was talking about this. He was like, yo, bro, because it's easy. They tell you to vote. But they actually don't want you to do shit. They want you to get out the bed. Let me finish. They don't want you to get out the bed, actually tax yourself, right? Take money out and put it in some type of fund for the black community. So when he said that, I started thinking, I'm like, yo, all these millionaires, all these wealthy black people gonna tell you to vote, right? That brings changes. And I was thinking, yo, why don't we just tax them 1% of their yearly income, right? People that make over $10 million, black people that make over $10 million. We know a lot. We go to NBA, NFL, businessmen, musicians, whatever. You make over $10 million, we're going to tax 1%.
Who's doing the taxing?
Who's doing it? No, nigga, this is just an idea. Okay. So it's not everything is set in stone. It's just an idea.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a fun, like, let's say the NAACP starts this up. NAACP now says, yo, if you make, as a black person, if you make over $10 million, we're going to tax only 1% of your income, and that tax money is going into a fund to help support black neighborhoods. So for educational purposes, give them something to do, right? That's a big problem I feel like a lot of black neighborhoods have. So why are we just tell people to vote, but we really not, well, we could just take 1% of your money, put it all together, and to really cause change, because voting doesn't cause change in your neighborhood. That's a
great idea, and I was thinking about something similar earlier. We could talk about it a little bit later, but that's a great idea you have. But in the era of transsexuals, we're gonna have a lot of transracials if that's the case. A lot of motherfuckers will come like, bro, I'm not black no more. I'm 10% Native American or something like that.
They already have people like that.
But transracials?
Yeah, what was that girl?
Rachel Dolezal? Rachel Dolezal. That's a lady who was the head of the NAACP when she was white the whole time. Yeah, she was white the whole time. Rachel, you never heard about that story?
I heard the whoever like runs Black Lives Matter are white people.
Word?
That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is.
But are they pretending to be black?
I don't know.
Yo, the thing about Rachel Dolezal is like people really shitted on her for pretending to be black, but I thought it wasn't that bad of a thing. Like, if you, as a white person, we talk about white privilege all the time. If you want to sacrifice your white privilege to be black, shouldn't that be commended? No,
I mean, I want to know what the purpose was for her to be the.
I think she truly loved the black community, and she was literally the head of the biggest body that helps black people, the NAACP.
I was actually thinking this the other day, what you're talking about, like how they talk about cultural appropriation and everything, and like people.
Cultural appropriation is a dumb concept, but go ahead.
Right, but like people find it offensive most of the time.
Yeah,
it's from what I've seen and heard. But I feel like it's appreciation.
It's natural.
What is that?
Right.
Cultural appropriation is technically like easiest example. Kylie Jenner rocks the fucking box braids, and they're like, "Oh, you're making something popular that black women have been doing for a long time, and even some of them have been judged for it." Get it? I get the little nuances within cultural appropriation, especially with the climate of racism in America. But cultural appropriation as a whole, it's so dumb because that's literally what people do. You take the best parts of certain cultures and you fucking adapt it.
That's what we learned in high school history class, cultural diffusion.
Yes.
These people go into different countries and they're like, wow, this is great tradition that these guys do. This is great food. I'm going to start doing this. And then that group of people, they move to another place and they're like, look at this stuff I'm bringing to you guys. Just Spreading the wealth.
That's how you fucking create society. You could go back to Africa in the most tribal stuff. You conquer a tribe. Oh, they have a cool way of making pots. We're going to take that and we're going to infiltrate it into our society, right? You come to America, you go to there's cultural appropriation everywhere. I don't know why people make such a big deal out of it.
Because it's easy to talk about it, bro. People like easy shit.
I feel like some people definitely go out of their I don't know.
Bro, it's a lazy man sport. Boss up, go create a business sign, bro. That's why I tell those type of people. Stop being a social warrior.
And that's back to what you were saying about why. Okay, so voting is important, and
very important.
I was gonna disagree with you saying that is the single most important thing a black person could do. I think the single most important thing a black person can do is to be a good representation of black people. Because I think the number one issue with black people in America, especially after, slavery and we were trying to become first-class citizens, was our perception. So if you're a black guy and you are carrying, you're intelligent, you're well-dressed, you're smart, you're intellectual, you don't fit all these stereotypes, you get angry and you get riled up. I think if you're a good representation of black people, that is the number one most single important thing a black person could do, right? You was talking about the voting thing. Yes, it's so dumb that they tell us all to vote and then say nothing after that.
Thank you.
It's like voting is going to bed early in search of a productive day the next day.
Thank you.
That is the very first thing that you have to do.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, it's going to bed early so that you have the opportunity to have a productive day, right? Without going to bed, the whole day is fucked. Without voting, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Now you have a whole day to go body. You know what I mean? And after you vote, you have a whole country, a whole system to go body, but we don't pay attention to that.
This is what talks. But at the end of the day, people want this, and they're gonna keep their mouth shut when they get this.
And then people enroll in electoral college.
Exactly. Electoral college. That's a
callback.
Hey, I go to electoral college.
I go to electoral college, brother.
Ever told on a nigga? No. Ever squeezed the trigger? Yep. Ever set a nigga up? No. Ever helped a brother out when he was down on his luck?